Hey folks, this is Anupam back again. I am today going to talk about how to do data profiling, especially in case of data migration, but also data quality enhancement. This tool which we have built for data quality, how does it help with business as well as technical data profiling from a bunch of sources, SAP, non-SAP, cloud data sources, how we can get this data profile done. All right, let's get going. So here's the overview of the scope for data profiling. As you can see, for data migration projects, one of the first things is to get, if there's any legacy SAP, there might be other databases and cloud stores. How can we profile our specific business elements, profile the data at technical and business level? So I'll jump now to our SAP first. We have the material master Mara table, and you're familiar with this, but just to check, there's 22,554 entries here, and then we also have some of the relevant data lying in a Postgres database, which has the addresses information. We want to get this information as well. And lastly, there is some information which is available on the cloud in Azure Data Lake, and we want to get this information as well, and then run our profiler to get the business data as well as the technical elements, the schema information, data types, etc., from all of these sources. So I'll first show you how does the profiler look like. So here's the data profiler. Basically, if you notice, what we have done here is we pulled data from we selected SAP Material Master. It gave us all the tables which we would need. So we have pulled Mara, MAKT, MARM, which is these three. And then we have pulled in the Postgres database. Remember the address data which is there, and pulled in this data, and the Azure file on the blob storage. We have picked this data. Now to see how the profiler views this, it is first giving the tables, and at the field level, it is identifying what are the values for minimum and maximum in that particular field. So for each of the fields, it would go in and identify the minimum, maximum, the average value if it is numeric. If there's any standard deviation, what is the row count? So remember, SAP Mara had 22,554 entries, so that's what it is showing. It is showing how many of those are null. Fortunately, we don't have any null in MATNER, and it is also counting distinct values. There would be some interest in those and see what are the distinct values. So that's the business value profiling. Then the next set of columns, it shows what is the positioning from the table, what is the data type. You will see from different sources it is showing date, integer, numeric, text, etc., and inferring from the values whether it's nullable, if we want to give any description or a field caption from the source system. So if I was to select one of those, you see there it is showing for some of the numeric columns what is the minimum value, what is the maximum value, what's the average, what's the standard deviation of values, what's the count, all of those things. Now, how do we do this? It's pretty straightforward. Once we select the element, it goes and refreshes from this SAP source and non-SAP source. So basically, we have these sources from Azure Data Lake, from database connector. So we have ability here to get data from files, from databases, which could be SQL, Oracle database, Postgres, SAP HANA, all of those. And then from Fabric itself or from Azure. So we use the Azure Blob Storage and fetch the data from that, right? So these would be Mara MAKT and MATLWH tables. This is my Postgres database table, and this is the Azure file. The important one, or the relevant one here, is based on all of this data, it is able to profile the data values, the business value information, business profile information, in fact, as well as the technical field types, lengths, etc. So what have we done? Basically, we went ahead and fetched our data from SAP, non-SAP, and cloud stores, and ran a discovery and profiling session on top of it. All right, I hope you find this useful.